Guys, I'm gonna show you a couple mods you can do on your Royal Gourmet 30-inch offset smoker coming up. This is Cooking with CJ, the show about cooking, drinking, barbecue, and all the other stuff that goes along with it. I am not a chef, I am not a bartender, I am not a pit master, but I play all three on TV. I'm gonna show you how to make quick, easy, tasty recipes and have a little bit of fun along the way. So let's get this party started. Hey everybody, welcome to Cooking with CJ. I'm CJ. Today we got a real simple one for you. Just recently got this Royal Gourmet 30-inch charcoal grill offset smoker. Okay, we went over this before. I'll show you, there's a video up here. We did our first cook in it. We put it together, unboxed it, put it together, did our first cook in it. Smoke went everywhere. Okay, there was no real sealed junctions in here, no sealed spots. Okay. Now I know over time some creosote will be built in there and it'll, help seal as it goes, but I wanted to do just a few things to seal up the smoker to keep from all that good smoke getting out. Smoke built in the offset part right here with the vents open and come out the chimney pipe right here. All right, not out in front of it, not around the firebox, not around here, in the connection part of the firebox. We want to minimize the smoke that leaks out throughout. We want to keep it pretty concentrated to those spots of, intake and out. I have just some little things we can use. We're going to use this high temp gasket. It's got a little stick 'em on there. We're going to go around the opening of this because, there's a fairly decent gap around there. So we want to fill that gap as much as possible. What we're also going to do is there's some parts in the firebox here and around the chimney that I want to get some of this high temperature sealant in there. It's called LavaLock. So we want to get this around all the little spots that smoke can get out. And then what I have here, I got this straight from the grocery store. All right, this is just a pan, like a baking pan, a little tinfoil pan. I'm gonna get this, cut the sides of it down a little bit and put it underneath the charcoal basket in there. There's no good way of taking out the charcoal besides like vacuuming it out. So we're gonna make this just so it sits on top of that charcoal basket, and then we'll be able to pull this out real easily instead of having to worry about vacuuming, because the last thing you want in there is for the ashes and all that stuff to sit there, attract moisture, and then it'll cause the rust on the bottom. And then the last thing we have is just a fire brick that we're gonna throw in there. It's not a very big burn area. There's not a lot of room for wood and charcoal and everything. So we have a nice fire brick, just one. It'll help hold some heat in there and keep the temperature. The whole idea behind this is keeping the temperature even, okay? So that's what we're going to do. So we got the fire brick, we got the sealant, the gasket. So let's get started on this, all right? The grates out, the charcoal basket that was in here, we put it over there, all right? So we cleaned it out a bit there. This is the charcoal basket for the offset right here. So we're gonna see that if you put something in here, we let all that ashes and soot in there, but that it could get a little moisture in there, would be a bad thing, okay? So obviously, this, that goes in there. The ash bat or the charcoal basket goes in there. But obviously, as it's done, as the charcoal burns through, it's going to go in there, underneath. Okay, so what we're going to do to combat that? Well, the first thing we're going to do is get these the pie tin things out. Okay, so clearly the charcoal basket is bigger than this pan. What we're going to do is cut the sides, cut the edges, and I'm sure there's a cheap pan, I'm sure there's a cheap tinfoil pan that would fit this, but I was just kind of going off when I was at the store. So I just wanted to get something in there that's easily removed. We're going to cut down the sides, cut down each corner, lay it a little bit more flat. It'll sit underneath it. I'll probably bend it up in a little bit, bend it up in the middle, because you can see it's concaved in there. So it'll fit underneath there real nice. And then the way I have this is that it will fold up, kind of like a taco, when I'm ready to remove it, and I can just remove it out of the damper right there. All right, see, we got it in there. Now, I realize that this isn't gonna catch every bit of ash in there, but it's just an easier solution. God damn, those chimes are so annoying. Sorry. It's just an easy, quick solution. I'm looking for quick, easy, inexpensive mods, okay? So all you keyboard commandos, relax. This is just something that I'm giving it a shot. I think it'll make it easier on cleanup, okay? So let's put this thing in there. Sorry about the wind noise. Most of the ashes are gonna go through the bottom right there. So we got that one mod done, easy peasy. All right, so next thing we're gonna do is put this gasket on. All right, so we're going, if you guys are wondering what that shells are banging, for some reason Mrs. CJ put those up on my barbecue, my lantern thing here. Sorry about the noise. All right, so we're gonna put a gasket from here all the way to the end right here. Okay, we're not gonna come down this way because along the edges here is too much air coming out, or too much room there, so the felt isn't gonna make a difference. But what we are gonna do is put it along the outside of this. As you can see, there's a lot of gap there, room to put gasket on there. I'm just gonna put a little on the outside right here, right? A little on this top part, okay? We will do it on this firebox lid because you can see there's quite a gap right there, and on the other side, you know, underneath, okay? And then we'll work on putting the sealant in. We're gonna put some sealant around this right here. You can see that there's quite a gap there that we're gonna put sealant all the way around. I'm gonna put some sealant on the pipe there and wherever else I can think of. Okay, so we have the gasket on the outside right here, and I went ahead and took it around the front right by the shelf, and when it hits, it's gonna hit the shelf anyway when I close the lid, so didn't really have to do too much with that. Again, over here, same thing, felt on the side, so it's not gonna completely seal it up, but it helps. Now let's do firebox. Okay, so we're gonna do all the way around as much as possible. Okay, so we got the gasket around the firebox lid. Nice and snug. Had to do a couple cuts here and there, trying to get it so it doesn't leak out. All right. So obviously it looks like it's more puffed up. It's just the gasket in there. All right, we're gonna move on to the sealant now. And guys, just by the way, whatever I'm using here, the gasket, the sealant, even the little pans, they could all be found down below in the description to my Amazon store. Actually, there'll be individual links for them. Okay, so you can just buy that stuff. It's pretty inexpensive. All right, it doesn't cost anything else to you by using the Amazon link. It just helps the channel out a little bit. So I appreciate it if you're gonna do this and you need these items. You see the stuff over there too. Hit up my Amazon shop there. All right, thanks guys. Okay guys, we're in here. We're about ready to seal it up. Now you can see the lip right here. We're just gonna put a bead of sealant around it. Okay, like I'm gonna put a bead. We're gonna just put a consistent bit of sealant right in between these two little gaps right here. I don't want to take the whole firebox off, but if you wanted to, you could. You know, obviously just unscrew it and drop it out. But I think with what I have here, should be good enough to get that sealant around it. Okay, so let's got our LavaLock in here. We got our application tip on there. Just cut off the top little bit. You can see it filling up in there. All right. So I'm just gonna go along that edge. I'm gonna do a little bit at a time, and then fill it in with my glove right here. Do not do this without gloves on, and do not do this without being in a ventilated room. And since we're just using a little bit, it won't take long to cure. It'll take about 15 minutes to cure. So we're gonna go ahead and fire this up pretty much right away. If I find that this isn't good enough, I will take off the firebox and add sealant all the way around. Okay, so we got our sealant around it. I decided to go pretty thick in the gaps just in case. And again, if this doesn't stop the smoke like I'm thinking it will, then we'll unscrew this firebox and then add the sealant in. Oops, got a little bit of overhang there.
Okay guys, as you see, we lost our sound on this shoot. Right now I'm taking off the chimney. I'm showing you right here where the leaks of the smoke will be. So we're going to put sealant around the bracket. We're also going to put sealant around the chimney to the bracket. As you can see, there's some daylight coming through there. There's only 3 little tack welds, but in between those tack welds there's plenty of room for smoke to escape, so we're going to seal that up. Alright, so we're starting to put the sealant around the chimney pipe to the bracket. Just go all the way around, make sure there's no gaps. Okay, now we're going to put the sealant on the bracket where it's going to touch the lid as tight as possible. So all the way around, thick beading of it all the way around. Okay, you can see that it's all finished. We're going to have to put it back onto the lid. We'll screw it on using the hardware that came with the lid, and it should form a pretty dang tight seal. Now I'm pushing down hard onto the lid with the bracket to make sure all that sealant gets spread out through there. And we're going to tighten the screws and nuts really, really tight to make sure there's no chance for smoke to escape. Okay, now we're looking from the inside of the lid. You can see that we've got much of that sealant coming through where the chimney stack goes through, but I want to put a little extra beading of sealant in there. So you can see I'm going to go all the way around it again just for extra precautions. I'm also going to take the sealant around the nuts and bolts and just make sure that there's no chance for it to escape. Alright, the last mod we're going to do is put that fire brick in there. We're going to put it up against where the airflow goes, so the charcoal and the wood will burn on that side, and then get that fire brick heated up and keep it insulated and keep the heat running through. Alright, let's get this party started. We got the charcoal, got a little haystack fire starter, and then the charcoal, going to sit on that, get burning, let it go for about 10-15 minutes. We'll put the splits of wood in. I also threw some tin foil down the charcoal pan there just to catch any of the drippings from the pork loin. And looks like we're about ready to get this thing started.
Alright, we got these coals going for a little bit. Let's get them in there. Woo. Have the vent wide open over here. Alright, our firebox, fire brick going. 3 little splits of this hickory. According to Ken at Heavy Metal Barbecue, this should help burn a little more clean, get that heavy duty white smoke out, get that cook going a little bit sooner. So we're gonna leave that open. Shut this real quick. Our vent up here is wide open. I'm gonna let it burn, and then we're gonna see how the smoke goes. So I might actually close that down after it gets started and get that, see how the smoke's rolling. The split's burned down pretty quickly. So we're gonna add just one big log, well, one smaller big log on there. All right, get that fired up, let that smoke burn off, and then we'll get the pork roast on there. All right, so Charlie's breathing hard in the background. It's a little hot out there. Charlie, stop breathing. All we can hear is you. All right, I'm looking at, we got some smoke coming out, but this looks tons better. Just a little bit in the corner right there. A little bit around the back, not too bad. Right in the corner right there. So we got some pretty good sealing. Obviously a lot of it's coming up the chimney, which is what we wanted. Nothing around it. What I was dealing with last time. Feeling pretty good. You do the best you can with what you have, and we've been over this before in my other video, that this is a very inexpensive smoker, but you do those few modifications, you'll be good. excited. Nice. Good stuff, guys. I mean, there's a little bit coming out of the side there, but hey, that's pretty dang good. I mean, compared to what it was. We're gonna let this white smoke kind of burn out, this dirty smoke. Dirty smoke. I'm gonna get that tenderloin on and call it a day. That's all I'm pretty much gonna do out of this one. It's not a cooking video, so you don't need to see how the tenderloin turns out. But again, guys, all this stuff is below. All the items I used for the mod are all down below in the description. You know, please feel free to click on that Amazon link. Again, it doesn't cost anything for you, anything extra for you. It just goes to the channel. Good stuff, guys. We'll do more cooks on this thing now that we got the smoke kind of under control. I'm feeling pretty good about it, guys. All right, until the next one. Hope you guys have a great week. Take care. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for cooking with CJ.